Well, hello and welcome to all of our viewers around the world. I'm Fiona Lang Sharp, IBCLC Director of Communications and MC here at Gold Learning. We're talking all about our upcoming Gold Lactation Conference, and I'm very excited today. We have one of our speakers here for this presentation, Safer Infant Milk Sharing, Mama's Mission to Support Black Breastfeeding Mothers, as presented by Kiana Ayers and Kamaria Dansby. And Kamaria, of course, is not on the screen, as you can see, couldn't be with us here today. But Kiana is representing the team, so thank you so much, Kiana, for being here as part of our conference. And of course, we're going to get down into some questions with you here today. But first of all, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell everyone where you're from and what do you do?
So my name is Kiana Ayers. I currently live in Atlanta, Georgia, and I am the executive director of Ready Set Push, Inc., which is a nonprofit that was founded to address the disparities that exist in quality prenatal education and breastfeeding support. Well, and then as we'll go along, you'll also hear more about how the Mama Project came to life. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
hmm
fantastic. And
hmm
since Kamaria couldn't be with us here today, could you please
hmm
introduce her and
hmm
tell everyone who's going to be joining you on the day for the presentation?
So Kamaria Dansby is a medical student and a researcher at Emory University, and she's a volunteer researcher. As you guys know, if you don't have data, you don't have anything. And so I was blessed to be able to connect with the Emory CLSM program, and that's how I met Kamaria and her peer Sydney, and they've both been just truly instrumental in helping us to gather data and get information back, and just to learn about how our programming is doing and what our participants feel about belonging and accessing our programs.
Yeah, and she's going to be with us here on the day presenting this topic. So it'll be very exciting. But today we have the pleasure, of course, of having Kiana with us. Now, there's got to be a backstory here, Kiana, how you
Mhm.
actually got here, to be a part of this amazing organization. So tell me, what was the journey like for you getting here and why? What's the why behind it?
So we all know that milk sharing happens, right? And we know it's happened since the beginning of time. But we also know that accessing donor human milk, especially for the general public, can feel like you're just coming to the wild, wild west.
Hmm,
Because yes, we have the resources of the internet, but you don't really know who you're meeting, who you're interacting with. And so there had always been this sort of underlying thing that myself and other lactation consultants had, that we really should link up and create a way for people to access safer donor human milk. But then, like most of us, we're so busy, we have our hands in like multiple things. We just figured we just didn't have time to do it. But really it was the push of the formula shortage that kind of made us go, okay, maybe we need to just go ahead and do it.
amazing. And so this came about and moved forward. And
Mhm.
to this point now where you're starting to see clients coming in, how long did it take to get the word out into the community that this was something that you were doing?
Not long at all. I think that as soon as we kind of got started, we didn't skip a beat. We got our first donation, we handed milk out. And the nice thing is that we didn't have to do the heavy lifting part of establishing, getting the paperwork, the framework. That was done by Christy Corsi's team at Breastfeed Atlanta. You'll hear about that more in the
Oh,
presentation. So we're grateful for that because
wow.
that's the heavy part of
Right.
like establishing things, the process, the how to do it. And so that was like handed to us. Like that part was started and
Amazing.
it was handed to us. And so then we said, okay, we can take the helm and keep going. The beauty of this work is that it depends on the generosity and the volunteerism of the entire community. Like it's not something you can do alone. And I
Right.
think that's what makes it such a beautiful project is that if Christy Corsi and her team had not done what they did, if myself and Stacey Ann and Leslie Jones and Angela Orenzak had not gotten together and said we're willing to be the foundation for this, along
Right.
with our admins, Gabby and Italia and Yolanda initially, like so many people had to come together and give their time and expertise. So this is not something that you can have, this is a brainchild, But if
Hmm.
you don't have the support of a tight community who's like, we're going to support this and move it along, then it doesn't work. And I think that's what
Right.
makes this such a beautiful thing, is that it is truly an exemplification of what happens when people come together and they use their expertise and their resources, and they just, all these little pieces come together and it makes it happen.
Right, absolutely. And
Mhm,
thank you for giving them all a shout out,
mhm, mhm,
for the work, because we know it takes many hands.
mhm,
I've got a couple of questions for you. Okay, you talked about the framework, the foundation. You've had a lot of people come together, which is incredible, who have all been on the same page. I find that sometimes we're living in these silos.
mhm,
As lactation
mhm,
professionals, breastfeeding supporters, whoever we
mhm,
are in the
mhm.
community. And it feels like we kind of talk about it and then we don't talk about it. Did you get to, like you said, you got together with a couple of people? Did you start, like, I want to know kind of the birth child behind it,
Mm.
how you got people together. What went on?
So there is an existing Milk Alliance in Madison, Wisconsin. They are the original rock stars, right? They
Okay.
have a site. They've been doing this for the longest. They are organized. They know exactly what they're doing. So I would say, to your point, their willingness to freely share how they do this, what works, what doesn't work, that's really the impetus. Because if they were doing what they were doing and we didn't have them to say, you can come and see us and you can learn from us and you can get this information, how would we would everybody would be starting over,
Right.
right? So it's funny because my friend Stacy Ann Louie, she's a lactation consultant here in Gwinnett. We kept having the conversation and we were like, we got to do this. And I would say to her, no, I'm not doing it. And she would say, yes, we have to do it. And I would say, no, I'm not doing it. Because, like we all know, taking on an unpaid project
Sure.
never, like that doesn't, it doesn't feel good to do. Um,
Right.
but I think just the pull of it, we now that here's the framework,
Yeah.
because Breastfeed Atlanta, initially they were going to do it, but then they decided it wasn't for them. They felt like it was more appropriate to be under a nonprofit. And so here it was that I had this nonprofit, and so said, well, yeah, let's do it. Let's house it under there. And so
Yeah.
it just made sense. All the pieces kind of came together, and it was something we wanted to do. We knew we needed to do, because here's what we found in our communities, because we are um the access to lactation and quality breastfeeding education has been less. People are more familiar with saying, I think I need milk, as opposed
Right.
to, I think I need a lactation consultant.
Gotcha.
So we
Gotcha.
understood that to level some of these playing fields, we needed to provide access, because it's not just about providing access to milk, it's about providing access to quality support.
Yeah.
Because our
No,
goal, of course, is to help you feed your baby.
I love that. I love that. I
Mhm,
know we
mhm,
talked a little bit about this earlier today, and at the end of the day, we all want to protect those that
mhm,
are or have chosen to breastfeed their babies, who are in the midst of it, and so forth and so on. Let's talk about Black mothers. Now, we
mhm,
know that Black breastfeeding mothers, they're already dealing with so many significant barriers.
mhm.
Was this a significant barrier to human milk for them too?
Well, I think for all mothers, because unless your baby is medically fragile or in the NICU, you don't get donor milk. There is
That's it. Yeah.
there's no way for you to access donor milk. So
Yeah.
it's, of course, being a Black mother, you have additional barriers. But for
Sure.
any mother, if you find that you can't feed your baby your own milk, now you want to try to source milk. You can't just walk up to your local milk bank and say, hey, I'm here. I need to buy milk for my baby for this week. Even if you had the money to do it, which it would get quite expensive,
Sure.
they may not have milk for you, because their milk is really slated for medically fragile babies and babies who are in the NICUs at hospitals. So for all for all mothers,
Hmm.
this is a barrier. And
Yeah.
is this the best answer that we can have? No. I think that eventually the future should be that we have pasteurized donor human milk that's available to the public.
Yeah,
That would
absolutely.
be the best solution. So we are here trying to get you just one step under the better.
Sure.
Right,
Yeah.
right, right, right. Right.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, I need to wrap up, but I
Mm-hmm.
can't let you go. I just like now I feel like I need to answer all these. I want you to answer all these questions.
Mm-hmm.
Here's something that comes to my mind. I think for
Mm-hmm.
years and years, professionals have stayed away from
Mm-hmm.
informal milk sharing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
professionals have gone, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
I'm out. I
Mm-hmm.
know, we've got as an IBCLC, we've also got to be professional and so
Mm-hmm.
forth and so on. So I think there's a lot of people that turn away. Turn me on. How am I going to get into this? What is going to be okay for my profession? Talk to me.
So I think for me, understanding that this is what people are doing.
Hmm.
So even if we said, "Oh, I don't have a resource for you," or "I can't talk to you about it,"
Right.
you go online and people are like, "I got milk over here," or "I just take milk from this person," or "I just do." The responsible thing for us to do is to say, "Hey, we know that this is happening, but can we share these safe pillars? Can we help you figure out a way to make this safer? Can we talk about the risk of human milk sharing? It's not without risk. Can
Right.
we talk about what things we can do to mitigate or decrease some of those risks? Can we talk about what is what makes human milk sharing the least safe to at least a little bit safer? Are there things that you can do at home with the milk?
Hmm.
How should people be washing their pump parts? What level of nicotine, or is there a safe amount of THC if that does exist? What how can we make this so that you understand exactly what it is that you're getting? And it's not just because somebody comes on a Facebook post and says, "Hey, I'm clean and you can get my milk."
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
So
yeah.
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 No, I was just going to say, so you've become really the safe resource as well in terms of like people can come to you, ask questions, they can get evidence-based answers because like you said, people are doing it anyways. We as professionals should
Mhm.
not be shying away from that. We should actually
Mhm.
be embracing it in terms of educating ourselves, understanding what's happening, and then potentially, I'm just going to put it out there now, modeling an organization like yours into our communities. That would be ideal. You could
Mhm.
see that would have a benefit, right?
Mhm. Absolutely. And like understanding like we don't give our milk to any NICU baby or any baby that's not reached their gestational age. Then people can understand, "Oh, why don't you do that?
Hmm.
How are their risks different than a healthy term baby? What does it
Yeah.
look like when a baby has an illness or has reasons?" And we connect with their providers, right?
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
we want their
absolutely.
pediatricians to know what's going on. We don't want this clandestine under the, in the dark kind of
No.
thing going on. We want
Yeah.
it to be out in the open and we want everybody to know what everyone is doing.
Informed decision making. That's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Before we wrap up, last thing, tell people where to find you. I know you're based on volunteers, donations,
Yes. 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 Yes.
all those things. So
Yep.
here's your hot like
Thank
right
you.
now.
Thank you. Thank you. So the website is readysetpush.org. We always need volunteers. We are a hodgepodge motley crew and we are hanging on by a thread, but we are doing excellent work. We don't always get to show it because we're so busy doing it, but we are doing it and we're really proud of the work that we're doing. So the website is readysetpush.org. You can always go there. You can donate, please. You can donate your time. You could donate your money. You could donate your supplies. We always need bags. We need those big freezer bags. We need coolers. We need freezers. We need additional sites. We need
Excellent.
all the things. So whatever, if you see that there's any way that you can help us out, reach out, and I'm sure we could find a place where you will be happy to have you.
That's amazing. Thank you so
Hmm.
much, Kiana.
Hmm.
I know when you come and listen to this presentation, this is going to move you. So our viewers listening in right now, I've had
Hmm.
a chance to have a look at it. This is going to show you what they've done, how to do it, and also what's happening in the outcomes, right? You'll get to
Hmm.
listen to some of the families that have been impacted by this association as well. I'm really excited for you to share it. And of course, we'll have both Kiana Ayers and Kamaria Dansby is going to be with us there too on the day. Safer, informal milk sharing, Mama's mission to support Black breastfeeding mothers. We'll see you all online. Thank you so much, Kiana, for being with us
Thank
here
you.
today. You can head over to our website right now at goldlactation.com for all the details on this presentation and our live event. Look forward to seeing you online. Bye bye for now, everyone.
Bye.